Hey everyone, this is Cynics, and I'm sitting here just for you in a dimly lit room, ready to explore the exciting world of DeviantArt. So, it is September 29th, 2011, and this is what is popular today. So let's jump right in. This first piece is by Varia13. I can tell right away that it is Harry Potter fan art. Even though I haven't really seen the movies much or read the books or anything, but obviously they're so iconic, I don't need to in order to recognize these characters. So, let me zoom in a little more. Oh, that actually works quite nicely. I can tell right away that this person made a smart choice in using these light brown tones for the line art and stuff, and kind of varying the color of the line art. And that helps a lot to sell this piece because I can picture in my head what it would look like if the line art was just left as kind of black, and it would really kind of make this piece not work anywhere near as well. So a couple things. Let's see. He's this guy over here. I'm trying to remember his name. Okay, I think it's Ron. He's kind of got these freckles that are just kind of spattered across just the middle of the face. And I understand what they're going for with this, but it might have been a bit overboard. Like sometimes you'll see freckles represented by just having some on the cheek and stuff. But it's a bit heavy just on this like single strip of freckles across the face. Kind of almost makes it looks like, or it kind of looks like he was maybe like working in a coal mine and had like a mask over his face and maybe a hat on. But overall, like I like their expressions. They're pretty good. This one's kind of interesting. I don't know. She looks a bit terrified or scared at least. I didn't think that's what the girl looked like, but maybe it is in the book or whatever. But she got a bit of a twisty hand here. A little bit of rheumatoid arthritis setting in. The way those fingers are kind of bunched up here and spread out here. It's a bit unnatural. But that's okay. I like her expression and the general flow of things with the one character in the center and the two characters on the side and the backgrounds. Simple, not too distracting, but still looks nice. And I think this is a traditional piece, actually. Maybe Copic markers or something. Let me just scroll down. Fan art. Oh, it says digital art. So I guess it's digital, but they kind of captured a traditional feel. Yeah, this girl, she kind of reminds me of that one actress, like Zoe Deschanel. Um, just with that kind of hair and stuff. But overall, this is a okay piece. I don't like the clothing at all, though, especially on him. And let me show you a little bit more what I'm talking about. You can see the way the sweatshirt, I guess it is, like kind of folds and it's kind of unnatural. Generally, you want something like these seams to be, on the shoulder line, or else this is kind of oversized. But it doesn't look oversized, so it's just kind of weird from a fashion tailoring standpoint. And also the lines they kind of drew in to represent folds don't really make any sense. You wouldn't have folds that are this lateral across the chest. Generally, the folds will follow the points of most tension. Yeah, that's a good word. The points of most tension on the body, so like the shoulders or something, and then they would come down to the looser parts. So it'd be more vertical and stuff like that. But anyway, enough nitpicking about clothing and folds and stuff like that. Let's just hop into another piece. So we got Hold My Secrets by 33AOAO2. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that name, and I don't know if anyone knows how to pronounce that name. And this is kind of a hard picture to get in frame. But I feel a bit exploited just looking at this. It's like they're dangling a shiny object in front of our face with some nice bokeh in the background, that nice soft focus and round lights. And this is very much like, it looks nice, don't get me wrong, it's very pretty to look at, but I feel like they're exploiting a very kind of obvious way to make things look nice and desirable to us. Like we're little babies and they're dangling their keys in front of our face, but we're happy about it. It's good. So there's nothing drastically interesting about this piece. You just got like a subject matter in a macro format in front of some bokeh background, and that's kind of a popular thing that's been popping up a lot. And it's nice that people are understanding those different ways to make objects look really nice and presentable. But it's not drastically interesting in terms of its art value. The key, I mean, it's just a key that they found or something. But yeah, it's nice looking, just not, it's not gonna blow your mind or anything. So let's just move right along, and we got a whole dump of sketches. So let's jump right in, and I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy in one of the older videos. And he loves to do these period piece type sketches with lots of period piece clothing and costumes and really classic stuff. And this style he has, it reminds me a bit of like French illustrators. It's kind of a very European illustration, but maybe not completely. Like it has some hints of American style and even Japanese style, but I would say it's most reminiscent of like a French style illustration. And if you don't know like the differences between all of them, I recommend just checking out different artists and things. You obviously probably know what Japanese illustration and art looks like with the anime and manga and all that. And American stuff is kind of more like your comic books and stuff like that. But I would say European and specifically French style of illustration, it's very kind of cartoony, and there's a lot of focus on character, especially with the shapes of the faces, the shapes of the heads and things like that, the shapes of the entire characters. And there's not much of that here, but just saying in general, the shapes of like the characters' expressions and facial features is very like important to the character itself. And that's how I would define that kind of style. So we got a lot of nice stuff, a lot of good character interaction, which is always nice. Something I want to work on personally. You can tell there's like interaction between characters a lot. And that's great. That's something a lot of people don't work on enough, is their interaction between multiple characters. Because a lot of times we'll just draw a character here, draw a character there, but not really work on this dynamic of having multiple characters interacting with each other. And this person does a really nice job of that, like pretty much in every piece, which is pretty interesting. So we got lots of good stuff going on. Some good colors here, good simple colors with the snow in the front and stuff. Once again, very costumey, very comic-y, but it's very solid work. I can see this guy having success in the comic industry, or just kind of doing illustrations, maybe even for like an animated feature or something like that. But anyway, let's move right along. Eyes of the World Savior. Eyes of the World Savior. Washu M. Okay. I think even without the little Square Enix, which seems kind of... I'm not sure you even need that when you're just drawing someone's eyes, but I think I could tell that this is Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. So I guess they did a proper job in relating that likeness. This isn't the most in-depth piece. Obviously, it's monochromatic and it's just eyes. But they did a good job with the eyes, Can't complain about that. It looks very stylized, yet realistic, kind of like what you would see in those high definition 3D renders by Square Enix that they did for this game and stuff like that. Um, let's see. I don't know about the hair though. Like I understand like the shape and directions of the hair is good, but just in terms of the highlights and things that are kind of spread out kind of strangely. I'm not sure if they actually match the lighting scheme of this piece, which seems to be a bit top down, judging from the deep shadows under the brow and stuff like that. And it feels like there's highlights on the hair that's making the hair feel almost 3D-ish. Not 3D-ish in that sense, but it has more roundness than it should as just hair. But yeah, it's okay. It's interesting. It's a good study type thing to do. Not drastically amazing. Look, there's a little Sephiroth one too. I guess it was a matching set. Um, and man, this person's comment, or I don't even know what's going on. It's like a alphabet soup for me. But let's see. Yeah, let's just move on. I don't know what to say about that. So we got something by Art Germ. That's always fun. I like Art Germ. He did a lot of the art for obviously the Street Fighter Third Strike kind of game. He did a lot of the online edition artwork for that. So this is a piece by him, and I don't know what it is. Apparently it's for a comic, maybe comic something. Um, yeah, it looks like this was the cover for a comic book called Captain Atom, and I don't know. I'm having mixed feelings about this. Like I love some of the work that Art Jim did, like maybe last week or something. I saw something great by him, but this feels a bit off. I like the stylistic choices in the way he did these flames and stuff, but in terms of composition, it just feels a bit off to me. It's very focused, like it's drawing your eye right off the side of the page, and it doesn't feel like it's really interacting with the viewer in an important enough way, like a cover really should. It feels like it's kind of doesn't care much about us. Like this would be a good page if it was like a half or a full page spread, or maybe even a double page spread where there was another page over here. But in terms of a cover art, it feels like it's kind of not interested in us as the viewer. This guy's a little interested in us, but that's about it. So this kind of feels like Doctor Manhattan, but I guess I can't critique him for these things that aren't really in his control, such as the character design and setting of everything. But it's obviously some naked blue guy with godlike powers that's in a war zone, so obvious similarities. But yeah, there's like just compositionally, it's a bit weird, and I don't know if you can even tell that from seeing it in the video. You might have to zoom out, or I'll just zoom out and go back to here and see if you can see it. But now it's like maybe too small, but you can see kind of the tension of things kind of just goes straight diagonally, and the eyes and everything. It's just kind of pulling you away from the middle of the page, like probably too much. And the distance stuff, like say up here, there's something in the distance. It's just as dark as something in the foreground here. So there's not a lot of atmospheric depth going on either. And just like darkness everywhere all throughout. So yeah, I feel like I'm being tough on Artgerm every time I come across this stuff, and maybe I am, but I hold him to high standards because I know he's a great artist, and it just seems like sometimes he's, ignoring some of the more obvious mistakes that people make. But stylistically, there's a lot of great choices. So anyway, let's jump right in. This is called Choices? What is it called? Oh, it's called Couple by Ivan Andreevich. So this is kind of an interesting looking piece. It's obviously highly saturated, and I'm not the most brilliant critiquer when it comes to photography, but it's a nice looking photograph. I can tell that. It's a bit postcardy, a bit I don't know what the right word is. It feels like something you would see in a religious store with like a Bible quote next to it or on top of it, and it's like yeah, there's like not much depth of focus. It feels like the focus is really flat all throughout, which is what makes it kind of feel postcardy. Like the stuff's just as in focus as the stuff up here, and it's kind of simple like that. And I think also the strong saturation. But in terms of like just being a nice picture, it's a very nice picture structurally with the colors and everything, and kind of the focal point being over here, and kind of really feels like everything's leading toward it in some way. Sadly, there's an unfortunate tangent here with the root of this tree lining up perfectly with this mountain here, and that's just kind of an unfortunate thing that happens here and there. But yeah, it's never a good thing. Just unfortunate tangents. So it's okay. I like some of his other stuff I can see down here. It's a little more interesting. Everything seems to be highly saturated though. High contrast, high saturation, a bit unnaturally high, but you know, that's just personal taste. So let's see, what do we got here? A sketch of a anime character. Um, hmm, the owner has disabled comments. So I guess they're not that interested in feedback or anything. It was just a commission. Um, yeah, I don't have anything groundbreaking to say on this. It's just a sketch of an anime character, anime girl. I don't see any glaring issues in terms of stuff they could have done differently. There's just kind of a cross-hatching effect across the clothing and a lot of the other stuff, and nothing drastically interesting, nothing drastically bad, just kind of something that you wouldn't really remember. But I do like this. You can see there's a little space here, a little bit of hidden line technique on the lips, which I kind of mentioned in my drawing like a painter thing. So that's a nice touch, and I think that adds a lot to the mouth. You can see just those minor little touches, how minimalistic the mouth is, but their choice to leave certain areas blank and certain areas filled in. That was a good choice, but otherwise I don't really see that anywhere else. There's a good flow to certain parts of the hair, and the way it flows over is kind of interesting, but yeah, I don't know. It's nothing amazing. I've never, like, doing cross-hatching I think is very bold. I personally don't do it because I always think it looks too busy, especially when you mix it with regular hatching, like you see here on the neck with some cross hatching here. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've never been a fan of doing mixing the two, and honestly, I've never been a fan of cross hatching. But some people can pull it off in amazingly detailed ways. So here we go. We have a picture over here called Golden Bay, and it is by a person named Forest Girl, which seems strangely appropriate. I guess maybe they love doing pictures of girls in forests. But this is probably one of the best looking things I've seen of this video, just in terms of composition and lighting, and it feels very planned and set up, and there's some good depth here in the lighting and focus. Not too overboard with the focus, but it's just kind of pretty the way the colors kind of the light seeps in here, and the characters off to the side, even though they're facing this way. It feels more like a proper composition, and you know, it's just kind of interesting. It's got like costume and leaves in the water, ripples, and you know, it's just kind of pretty, and I can see it being like, what could it be? Maybe an album cover or like a print in a magazine or something like that. It's just kind of decent looking, nice composition, nice colors, um, very warm tones, but interesting detailing on the hair and stuff like that. So it's very pretty. It's a very pretty fantasy piece. I think that's about it. I've obviously wasted a bit too much time on some of the earlier stuff, so we got some photography here, which is once again kind of very standard, but very nice looking, very safe, very kind of pretty and pleasant to look at, very soft pinks and greens, and it's always nice when you can mix like pinks, those warm tones, like a pink and a green, and get those nice color balance between them. So let's see, some kind of 100 drawing challenge. It's always good when there's challenges, anytime they get people drawing. More stuff like that. This portrait type thing looks nice. I don't know about the whole sideways aspect here, but you know, whatever. It's something. Yep. I don't know. I'll just wrap this up here, and I'm going to try to do more of these in the future. I'll break them up in between other tutorial type stuff, and actually I really want to get some guests to commentate on these videos because I think it would be a lot of fun. So I've been contacting a few different people, both artists and non-artists alike, just to kind of have that secondary input in a Let's Explore DeviantArt video. So I hope you got something out of this or just enjoyed watching it, and I will See you guys soon.